So last time we took the two best players in NHL 18, Sidney Crosby and Connor McDavid, and paired them with the worst overall player in NHL 18 to see how the team would perform. This time, we're taking all the best players in NHL 18, and we're going to be giving them the worst goalie you can possibly make in this game. So let's see how this team does. Hey guys, what is going on today? Bojo here, and that is the exact simulation that we are going to be doing today. We have the best overall rated team that you can create in NHL 18 on forwards and defense, but I'm going to be giving them the worst possible goaltender in this game, and we're going to see how well both the team will perform with the best overall players, if that really makes a difference if you have the worst goalie in there. We're also going to see how well this goalie may progress in a couple of years of franchise mode. So I first want to say thank you to Matthew18 for giving me the idea to do this video. If you guys would like to see some of your ideas being brought into video form, leave them in the comments section down below. I will read pretty much all of them, and if I find something that sparks my interest, we're going to be doing it. Alright, so let's start off by showing you guys this crazy stacked offense and defense that we are going to be using for this simulation. So on the first line, we have Alexander Ovechkin, Sidney Crosby, and Patrick Kane. Line number 2, Vladimir Tarasenko, Connor McDavid, and Nikita Kucherov. Line number 3, Jamie Benn, Evgeny Malkin, and Johnny Gaudreau. Fourth line, John Tavares, Anze Kopitar, and Austin Matthews. On defense, we have Victor Hedman and Erik Karlsson, Duncan Keith, Shea Weber, Ryan Suter, and Brett Burns. Still a crazy stacked defensive core, but the goaltenders is what we are going to be using. So we have the wall. The wall.
I will build a great wall.
18 years old, so I made him 18 years old. I made him a low AHL other goaltender. So AHL other goaltender is the lowest overall potential rating that you can give a goaltender in this game, other than exact, which would happen if you raise his age up to above 26. But that's all his stats. 36 overall for everything. He's 6'1", 200 pounds, which is the default height and weight for a goaltender. I believe that's the default height and weight for any creative player in this game. And he is going to be the starting goaltender for all 82 games. I turned auto-rotate goalies off, so don't mind Austin Lance. I just threw him onto the team just because he was the lowest overall free agent goalie, and I thought just throwing him on there for kicks and giggles would be fun. So just some other side notes on this franchise mode. Everything has been turned off once again. The salary cap is off, trades are off, no waivers, no waiver notifications, anything like that is all turned off. I just want to get through this season as quickly as we possibly can. So we're going to be looking for two things here. Even with a 36 overall goalie, can the team still be the top team in the league? And we're also going to see if this 18-year-old 36 overall goalie with the lowest potential, playing on an NHL team for 82 games a season with possible playoff time, let's see how quickly he may be able to grow in overall. So without further ado, guys, let's get to simming. I'll meet you guys at the end of year number 1, and we'll take a look at this squad. Oh, and by the way, as we are going through the simulation right now, the team that we did substitute this team for is the Vegas Golden Knights, as they did have the lowest overall team rating in the game, so I substituted them out. They replaced Vegas. Let's get back to the sim. Alright guys, so here we are at the end of the year number 1 simulation, and honestly, I am very surprised at how this team performed. They actually finished last place in the Pacific Division, 25, 48, and 9 overtime losses, only a total of 59 points. The point totals are still pretty good, as you guys will see right here. I'm not going to go over it briefly just because, you know, it doesn't really matter. The plus minuses are out of this world, my goodness. Obviously, some players had some overall decreases, some of them had a couple increases, but mostly everybody kind of stayed relatively the same where they are at the current moment. So there's the point totals for the forwards, and I'll show you guys the point totals for the defensemen right there. So like I said, the best players in the world were not able to get it done just because this guy here was an absolute atrocity. 82 games played for him. Obviously, Austin Lotz got in there as well for a couple games because he got pulled every now and then, obviously, when he's giving up goals. Man, 24 wins, 48 losses, 6 overtime losses, a save percentage of .764%, a goals against average of 5.94. Space had 1,300 saves on the year, goals against 401 goals against in an 82 game season, which is absolutely crazy to think about. He did have 4 assists for 4 total points, which is always nice. But damn, man, that guy, the Wall, was definitely not the Wall. He's got a few cracks in him for sure. Even with a 36 overall goaltender, the team will indeed still struggle. They won't be able to put up enough goals to contend with other teams in the league. So let's do that simulation thing, and we will see you guys at the beginning of year number 2. Alright guys, so here we are at the beginning of season number 2, just to show you guys a couple of the upgrades and downgrades for some of our offensive and defensive players. As you can see, we do have some certain upgrades here: Crosby, Ovechkin, Kane, Kucherov, Malkin. I think all of them which got upgrades. I think Tarasenko might have went up by 1. McDavid did. Gaudreau, Matthews, Tavares. I think Anze Kopitar was the only one that got a downgrade, going from an 89 to an 88. I think he was the only person that lost one on offense. Defensively, I think Suter lost 1. I think everybody else stayed pretty much exactly the same. I think maybe Burns went up by 1, maybe he went down by 1. I forget if it was an 89 or an 87. But yeah, he is down there and an 88, but Carlson and Hedman, I think, stayed relatively the same. Now, the interesting thing is goaltenders, the Wall did not grow at all. He's still at a 36 overall. You would think that even with the horrible stats that he had, he would still gain some overall points for the potential of that him, growing into a goaltender. But that might not be the case, but we will see. So a couple of our top end players did get some overall boosts, but we're going to head into season number 2 now, and let's see if the same situation will happen again. Okay guys, so we're at the end of season number 2 with this simulation. As you guys can see, they did do a little bit better. 32, 43, and 7, 71 points. It's a hell of a lot better than 50 whatever points they had last year. Our offense, there's our offensive, defense, and goalie stats, as you guys can clearly see on our lineups right there. So the team, I think, did a little bit better this year. We have some plus players rather than guys all negative last year. How did the Wall end up doing? So 82 games, 31, 43, and 5. Save percentage of .808, that's better than a 7 something. 4.81 goals against average, which is not bad. Well, it's not bad. I mean, it's better than last year. He had 3 assists this year. He had 4 the previous year. If you guys want to look at it that way, he had a better year. The team still struggled for sure, and we don't know if he's going to get any potential upgrades or not to his overall, but we'll have to see in the offseason. So let's go to year number 3. Okay guys, so here we are at the beginning of year number 3. Once again, go through really quickly what our offensive defense looks like overall wise. Obviously the guys who have been playing down here on the 3rd and the 4th line will definitely be getting some overall decreases, especially the 4th line guys. We're starting to get some 86s now into the lineup, which honestly really doesn't affect us all too badly. We're still a crazy stacked team. But here's the issues we got right now. Not really issues, they're actually good issues to have. Austin Lotz has been gaining overalls faster than the Wall for sure. He's up to a 64 now. I believe we started him at like a 60 or maybe like a 50 something overall, but he's still gaining some overalls. The Wall has got a 1 overall increase. He is now 37 overall. Now, I have made somewhat of an error when it comes to checking out his stats. Now, remember, when I created this guy, he had 36 overall for every single individual stat, and his overall was 36 overall, meaning that we would have had to have serious increases in every single one of his individual skills to raise that overall point up to around the 37. So one thing I forgot to do after the first 2 seasons, after the first year and after this past season, I didn't look at his individual stats. But there you guys go. There are his individual stats. They're still at a half of a star for every single individual category, but a bunch of his individual stats have gotten a hell of a lot better than 36 overall, especially his reflexes categories. Almost everything in there has roughly doubled or so, up to around the mid 60s area, mid 60s, low 60s for reflexes. athletic category, some of them have doubled, some of them have gotten like plus 20s in there for his stats, which is not bad. And then his puck control stayed relatively around the same. You still have some stats there in the 30s, but a couple in the 50s and some in the 40s. So he is getting better. That's good news. This player is getting better with each and every passing year. So, with that being said, we're going to give this one more opportunity during year number 3 for this video. If you guys want to see me continue along with this simulation and seeing how good this player can actually become, make sure to leave that in the comment section down below, and then maybe we'll revisit this at a later time. Maybe it'll be the next video that we do, and we'll see if he actually continues to increase or whatnot. I'm still going to take the end of this video all the way up to the beginning of year number 4 to see if he actually gets another increase, and then maybe we'll continue along to simulate. But let us see after year number 3. Let's see if this team actually continues to get better and if they get closer to a playoff spot. Oh my god, he got a shutout! Just to point out, we are at the beginning of December and he has gotten 2 shutouts. I repeat, 2 shutouts in the same week during the month of December. 4-0 over the Buffalo Sabres and 6-0 over the Arizona Coyotes. 2 shutouts. Pretty damn good. He did it again! He did it again! He shut the Coyotes out twice! Twice in the same month! He shut them out again! He's done it again! I'm pretty sure that's 4 shutouts for the boy so far this year. Let's go, the Wall. Okay, so here we are at the end of year number 3. Ovechkin, once again, nasty season, 101 points. But the Burnaby Aces made the playoffs. 46, 31-5, 97 points on the year. That's good enough for 3rd in the Pacific Division. And the Wall stepped up huge this year. Wait till you guys see the stats for the Wall. My god, they still might be a little bit elevated, but he played crazy good this year. Look at all those plus minuses now, like leaving our squad, which is awesome. Malkin had another crazy year, 45 goals. But there's all of our point totals from our offense and our defense right there. As you guys can see, still some pretty good point totals. Obviously the defenders are still starting to drop off a little bit in overall points, but still that's nothing to worry about. But there he is, the Wall. 46, 31-5, 5 shutouts. He had 5 shutouts this season. 2 against Arizona. I'm pretty sure he had 2 shutouts in the same week. He shut out Arizona twice in the same month and had like another shutout, I think, later on in the year as well. So he played hell of a lot better this year. A save percentage of .862. Still nothing too great, but that's not bad at all. Goals against average, it's under 4 now. 3.57 goals against average. He let up 275 goals against this year. 5 assists for 5 points. His most point produced year, which is awesome. So the Wall played amazing this year. The Wall took us to the playoffs. We were standing behind the Wall. Let's see if this team can actually help the Wall get to the playoff picture. So let's do the first 4 games here. Let's do the first 4. Let's see how they do against Anaheim. 2-1 win, 8-7 overtime win, 4-1 win, and a 5-0 win. He got another shutout. This man is on crack. This man is on crack. We sweep round 1 against the Anaheim Ducks. What is happening here? What is actually happening? The Burnaby Aces undefeated through round number 1 of the playoffs. And look at that. Other than that game number 2, which finished 8-7, he didn't let up 1 goal for the next 3, like the 3 games that they won. This guy is amazing. Okay, Edmonton, round number 2. Let's get it going. Here we go. 2-1, 4-3, 6-1 loss, 4-2 win. Okay, so they're up 3-1 in the series. They are still up 3-1 in the series, and the Wall has still been playing amazing. Game number 5, 6-4 win, and this team is going to the Eastern Conference Finals with a record of 8, or the Western Conference Finals with a record of 8-1 so far through the first 2 playoff series. The Wall is helping this team. They are behind the Wall. Here we go. Western Conference Finals, 6-2, 6-0. He got another shutout, and then he comes back with 3 wins. He gives up 6 goals in game number 1, but then comes back with a shutout in game number 2, a 5-2 win in game number 3, and then a 3-2 overtime win in game number 4, and then we lead 3-1 as well. This team could go to the Cup. This team is going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Are you kidding me? With a 37 overall goalie, this team is going to the Stanley Cup Finals. That is ridiculous. This is ridiculous against Philadelphia, of course. All right, just end my hopes and dreams right here. Just end my hopes and dreams right now. 12-2 playoff run right now. Philadelphia meets us in the Stanley Cup Finals. Let's do this. Game number 1, 2-1 victory. This guy is crazy. This guy is on his head. Game number 2, 4-3 overtime win. Game number 3, 5-4 overtime win. 3-0 series lead. This cup is in the building. 4-3 loss. So they're down 3-1, or they're up 3-1, and they win game number 5, 4-3. The Burnaby Aces won the Stanley Cup in year number 3. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's crazy, dude. That's nuts. That's a 16-3 playoff run. That is absolutely insane. That is absolutely insane, man. You guys saw it. I didn't skip. 16-3, 2 shutouts, a save percentage of .901, goals against of 2.49, 48 goals against. Still a lot of goals against, but my God, what just happened? We just won the Stanley Cup in year number 3 with a 37 overall goaltender. Okay, so that just happened. Let me sim past the draft. When your teams win the Stanley Cup, there is always an often chance that their overalls will jump up a good bit. So you know what? Let me sim to the draft, sim past the draft, sim through the offseason, get to the beginning of year number 4. We'll check out the stats there, and then we'll call it a video right then and there. So let's get through this. Alright guys, here we are at the beginning of year number 4. Once again, quick look at the overalls there for our offense. Nothing much has changed. Kopitar continues to drop. He's at 86. Defensively, he looks pretty crazy. Suter and Keith have now gotten really low overall. Burns and Weber dropped a bit. Carlson and Hedman still staying the same. Carlson got a little bit better. But as we go to goaltenders, Anthony Lotz once again went up, or Austin Lotz went up by a couple overalls. He's up to a 65. And the Wall still unfortunately stayed at a 37 overall. Even with winning the Stanley Cup, it still wasn't enough to give him an overall boost. But once again, just looking at his individual stats, if I have the time, I'll pull up his individual stats from the previous year, and you guys can look at them and compare to see what actually went up and what went down from last year to the previous year in his stats. So I think he got better. If I wanted to look at his stats, I'll obviously know in post-editing that I'll know if his stats went up or down. But just by looking at this here, I would assume that most of his stuff went up. Maybe a couple things, not by much, maybe like 1 or 2 points here and there. But you know what? It doesn't look like, even with the lowest overall goaltender and the lowest overall, he's not going to jump by crazy high overall points. But technically he did get better, and he won a Stanley Cup in year number 3 behind that team with a 16-3 playoff run, which was absolutely incredible. Thank you guys for tuning into this probably long ass video. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. Make sure you guys leave a comment for some other simulation scenarios that you guys would like to see, and also make sure to leave down below if you want to see this particular simulation continue, and let's keep going throughout the years. It's not going to be in depth as this one was. I'm not going to show you guys the stats of pretty much every single year for the players, but I'll just mainly focus in on that goaltender for sure and show you guys how big of an overall jump he might have got as we can continue to go maybe like another 4 years down the line into like year number 8 or 9 to see. You guys can let me know down below, but a very interesting simulation nonetheless, and the team won a cup in year number 3, so you know what, a win's a win. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you did enjoy. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.